Your Matsu Miners are on the road, but still on the grind. It's Matsu Miners Baseball, and it's next on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Welcome into the Miners brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Here's the voices of the Miners, Kevin Peel and Kyle Howard.
For the Matsu Miners, showcase time has been all season. After the 17-1 trouncing of the Oilers Wednesday night in Palmer, the Miners are now 25-7, 23-7 in ABL play. Good for ranking number 2 overall in the entire country in the CSB rankings. The Scout Showcase begins today here in Anchorage as the Miners take on the Chinooks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mulcahy Stadium. You're tuned in to Napa Auto Parts pregame show. I'm Kyle Howard, alongside my broadcast partner, Kevin Peel. Yesterday brought some rain. Today, sunny skies and mostly sunny today, at least a couple clouds in the sky, but no rain clouds. That's a good sign. We're about to play baseball in just a few moments in a doubleheader. The rainy conditions really brought in some wind yesterday. The wind has persisted here, so maybe a little bit of a factor in this game. How much of a factor do you think it'll be today, Kevin?
For those trying to show off in front of the Scouts, at least in the power category, it could be difficult with that wind blowing in from left field. This is a park that I think you and I generally thought we'd probably see a few home runs flying out of this park, but really that hasn't been the case so far. And really for the Pilots and Bucks, even in their home games, they haven't really been able to hit very many home runs on the year. That wind coming in is not going to help in terms of if it's blowing straight out of left field and right towards home plate. But if it shifts just a little bit and moves towards that right field corner, that's when the lefties can really start to take advantage of it. And I think they can do that today in these showcase games. But the power, I mean, for 2 shorter games, we may not be able to see the correct representation of the power that some of these players have on both sides, especially the righties when you look at it. But in all honesty, yes, it does have a factor. But if a person has a lot of pop in their bat and they get a hold of one, it could leave. So it will be an interesting scenario to see how that wind factor plays out the entire day.
And despite having the 2 home runs just this past game against the Oilers, the Miners have not used the power that much this season. And the Miners haven't and despite doing that, have won a ton of games so far. The Miners have a magic number of just 2 games to claim the NL division and punch a ticket to the top of the World Series. While these 2 showcase games do not count in the ABL standings, how important are these next 2 games for the Miners, Kevin?
I mean, they are important, especially in the fact of impressing the Scouts for the individual players, trying to make sure they're getting a good reputation out there to these Scouts and to these teams so that they can be drafted later. That's really the individual impact. But in terms of big picture, it doesn't have that big of an effect. But the thing is that you want to keep the flow going. I mean, these are essentially days off. The Miners don't play till Tuesday in actual ABL play. But when you look at that number, that would mean that the Miners haven't played in 6 days, real competition in terms of actual games. The break is definitely good for these players, gives them a good chance to rest up and like today and tomorrow focus on the Scouts who are here and trying to impress them. But they are key in terms of keeping the momentum going, especially for a Miners team that is 25-7 in 32 games so far this year. It's really important to keep that going because you don't want to get into a slump heading into that quote-unquote second half of the season, even though the season's almost over. But when you look at it, I mean, that is a disadvantage to the Miners just like it is to any other team. You look at the Anchorage Bucks, who they'll play in a 5-inning game 30 minutes after this one. It's just as big of a disadvantage to the Buck baseball right now on a routine basis as it is to the Miners, as it is to the Chinooks, as it is to the Panners, or any of these other teams. So we're going to see how all these teams are going to battle with the loss of not being able to play actual baseball until Tuesday.
So it'll be an interesting way to see how the Miners turn that. Just a couple of games away from clinching a spot in the top of the World Series. We'll head to break now. When we come back, we will have more of the starting lineups for you tonight. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Dunny skies are prevailing here in Anchorage as we get set for this beginning of the doubleheader tonight. Showcase beginning here at 1 in the afternoon and prevail into the early evening against this game number 1 in Satsu Miners and the Chugiak-Eagle. Game number 2 will feature the Matsu Miners taking on these Halls today. But first, it's leading off and playing center field, Chris Hall. At shortstop, it's Tyler Wolf. He bats second. Batting third and playing left field, Vance Vizcaino. Batting cleanup and playing first base, Hunter Simmons, who homered his last game, and as did Chris Hall, the leadoff hitter. Batting fifth and playing second base, Jake Schleppenbach. And right field and batting seventh, Connor Wanhanen. Batting seventh and playing DH, Jack Zellner. Batting eighth and catching, Jed Fagg. Batting ninth and catching is Zach Plunkett. And on the hill tonight will be Valenzuela. Valenzuela coming in to another start against and helping the Miners try to get going tonight in what is a scout showcase. And we'll be out there in front of quite a few scouts tonight trying to get the Miners underway here and on their way to maybe getting drafted next year. Defensively for the Chinooks, it'll be out in right field, Jacob Ropes. In center field, David Morton. Cameron Bronick out in left. Across the infield, it's Holt Davis. Will Bass at second. Hunter Hanks at short. And Patrick Cromwell at third. And behind the plate, Andrew Mogg completing the battery is left-hander Jamie Ball. He delivers a first pitch to Chris Hall. It's down low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. And we're underway here in Anchorage. The wind in the 1-0. Fastball missing a little bit high to Chris Hall. It'll be 2-0 now to him. Jamie Ball. The lefty from Hardin-Simmons University. This one popped up to the left side. Giving chase out in left field and short left field now. Making the catch toward the line is Baronic. 1 man out to start things for the Miners. I'll bring up the shortstop Tyler Wolf. Jamie Ball, the lefty from Hardin-Simmons, 6'4", 210-pound junior. Having a little bit of a rough go so far for him. This is his first start. 1-1 in the year with a 16.61 earned run average and 4 1/3 innings of 5 relief appearances. First pitch in there for a strike on the knees for a called strike here to shortstop Wolf. Ball has also struck out 4 and walked 11 and allowed 6 hits in that span. Here's a pitch. Fastball missing inside. 1-1 the count. Tyler Wolf digs in the shortstop. Ball will wind and deliver the 1-1. Here it is. Fastball misses up. 2-1 now the count. Sunny skies again. Yesterday, rain would force a doubleheader. Now we play a 7-5 start to the Miners. This time a changeup runs inside, gets the inside edge. 2-2 evens the count now. Here's the wind and the pitch. Flare down the right field line, giving chase in the right field corner is Brobes, but he's going to run out of room. This one into the stands. So now another 2-2 count coming on the shortstop Wolf. Ball shaking off the signs. He winds and fires now. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. A changeup got him way out in front. Tyler Wolf goes down swinging. 2 men out. And quickly here for Jamie Ball.
A nice confident at-bat there for Jamie Ball. He looked really good and mixing up his speeds and able to get him with the off-speed pitch. Wolf to swing out in front of it. Wolf had solid contact on that one down the right field line, but he hung in there, but it was just a good strikeout there for Jamie Ball.
So now a 2-out batter will be Vance Vizcaino, the left-handed hitting outfielder. Today getting the start out in left field. Vance a .282 hitter, 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 12 knocked in. Takes a pitch outside for a ball. Vance, one of 15 All-Stars on this Matsu Miners roster, which we'll get to in a bit, and all those names that were named to the All-Star team. 2-0 to Vance Vizcaino. Here's a pitch. Fastball misses way up and goes back to the screen. 3-0 the count for Ball. Ball pitching against the Miners now for his second time. Make it the third time, excuse me. This pitch missed outside, or gets the outside edge. Just time to change up, make that 3-1 the count. His last time up was a 13-2 loss in which he worked a third of an inning, allowed 3 runs, 2 of those earned, 2 hits, allowed 3 walks, and did not strike out a batter while facing 7 batters. This one fly down the left field line out of play. If a foul ball or home run does damage to your car, visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. The payoff pitch coming to Vance Vizcaino once again. This ball looks in for the sign. He leans and fires. Here's a curveball that doesn't quite catch the edge here. Ball 4 issue to Vance Vizcaino. And now a 2-out base runner for the Miners. For Vizcaino, that's walk number 10 on the season for him. He stands aboard at first base is Hunter Simmons, who again had a big 3-hit performance. He's 8 for his last 10 with a homer. Fastball misses away, 1-0 to him now. Hunter will be appearing in the All-Star game, or make that the Home Run Derby, excuse me. He will bat one of 2 Miners that will be in the Home Run Derby. Also with Matt DiOrio tomorrow. Ground ball back up the middle. That will fall for a base hit. Past the dive of the second baseman, Will Bass, into center field. So now Hunter Simmons continuing his offensive tear. Now 9 for his last 11. And he just continues to hit the ball very solidly at the plate.
It doesn't matter who's pitching right now. When you're in one of these zones as a hitter, you're seeing the ball. No matter where it's coming in, no matter what pitch it is. Hunter Simmons has got to feel really good because he looks great up there. He's getting into good situations. He's weighing out his pitches and is really hitting the ball with authority right now. Another nice hit back up the middle there.
Fastball gets the edge, or the upper edge here for a called strike to Jake Schleppenbach now. Ball comes set. Looks the runner back at second. Now he delivers home. Fastball runs inside. 1-1 now to Jake. 191 hitter on the season. 8 runs scored, excuse me. Also 10 runs driven in at the plate. He's been hitting the ball very solidly recently at the plate. Runners on first and second, 2 men out. Pop foul back up behind the plate here. 1-2 the count. Outfield and infield both straight away for Jamie Ball, trying to get out of this inning here without allowing a run. He got the first 2 retired, but has allowed a walk and a base hit by both Vizcaino and now Hunter Simmons. 2 runners on, 2 men out. Slap foul on the left field line again. 1 ball, 2 strike count again to the second baseman, Schleppenbach. Connor Wanhanen awaits on deck should the inning continue. The lefty Schleppenbach waves his bat around. The look of the runner back at second. The pitch. Chopped out on the first baseline and into the Miners' dugout. Corbin Martin came out of the dugout to try to dive at that one, but couldn't quite get to it. So now a 1-2 count, 2 men out. Ball to lefty coming set against the lefty Schleppenbach. The delivery. Popped up to the left side. Giving chase on foul ground is the third baseman Cromwell, but not going to be able to make a play on it as it goes into the stands. So now again, it'll be a 1-2 count for Schleppenbach. Again, Vizcaino on second. He walked. On first, Hunter Simmons. He singled. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Down swinging goes Schleppenbach. As Ball strikes out 2 in the first inning. He lost 2 base runners, but gets out of it. No runs scored here for the Miners in the top of the first. We head to the bottom of this first here in Anchorage. The Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks will come to the plate. This is the Matsu Miners baseball and the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to Anchorage. We're going to give you the starting lineups for the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Batting first and playing third base, Patrick Cromwell. Batting second at the DH, Matthew Ferruccio. Batting third and playing left field, Cameron Baranek. Batting fourth and playing catcher, Andrew Mogg. Batting fifth and at first base, Holt Davis. This one's popped back to the screen, foul. As Valenzuela delivers, this one popped back, foul against Cromwell. Now batting sixth and playing center field, David Morton. Batting seventh and playing second base, Will Bass. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Hunter Hanks. This one for a slider here for a called strike to Cromwell. It's 0-2 now. Batting ninth and playing right field, Jacob Ropes. Defensively for the Miners, Juan Hanan in right, Chris Hall in center, Vance Vizcaíno in left, Hunter Simmons at first, Jake Schleppenbach at second base, Tyler Wolf at short, third base, Jed Fack. And on the hill, Valenzuela pitching to Zach Plunkett. It's a fastball that misses low, 1-2 from the left-hander, and Sebastian Valenzuela. Sebastian delivers a changeup that misses up, 2-2 now. Sebastian getting his first start in a while now. He's pitched relatively well at the 2.81 earned run average on the year. Wasn't a starter on the roster early on in the year, but was put back in the bullpen where he's pitched very well. The fastball that misses upstairs, 3-2 the count now. Overall, 0-0 here's a fastball that swinging and a miss, and Cromwell goes down swinging. But 0-0 with a 2.81 earned run average, 6 games, 2 of those starts. 1 save in the process while working 16 innings, striking out 13, now 14 with that one there, and walking 9 and allowing 9 base hits. His last outing was at 11-4 win just a few nights ago over the Oilers. Worked an inning while walking a batter and facing 4 batters. Get a 1-2-3 inning essentially, though. Here's a pitch. Fly ball hit to right field as Ferruccio gives this one a ride. Juan Hanan backs up toward the warning track and makes the catch. 2 men gone here in the inning. Now that brings up Cameron Baranek. Baranek, of course, down with an injury earlier in this season. Hurt his leg against the same Miners, or just a couple nights before they played the Miners, Would miss about 2 weeks of playing time, but would get back in the lineup and continue to get night in and night out. The slider to the miss. Really probably the best hitter on this team to that point before he went down. Still hitting the ball very well as he chops us one to the right side. Hunter Simmons comes charging, and he will drop the baseball as he tries to apply the tag. They'll call him safe at first base. We'll see how they scored officially. Hunter Simmons snow-coned the baseball as he charged in the infield, tried to put the tag on Baranek, but the ball slipped out of his glove. See if they score that a base hit or an error for Baranek. They will charge an error now to the Miners here. They give Hunter Simmons another error. So that's how Baranek reaches the board with 2 men out here in the inning. It's a tough play for him to make. He had to charge in the infield to get it. First pitch, a fastball misses low and away for a ball, 1-0. They've officially changed the ruling now on that. They give Baranek a base hit and an infield hit. It would have been a tough play again for Simmons to charge and try to make the tag. He had to snow cone to try to make the tag, but unsuccessful there. Fastball upstairs. They try to throw down the first base and nip Baranek. He's back safely. So now a 2-0 count now coming to Andrew Mogg, the catcher, another all-star. High drive hit back in a deep left center field, but racing toward the warning track. Now calling for it in center field is Chris Hall. That is out number 3 in the inning. So a base runner allowed and an infield hit by Baranek, but he's left stranded right there. Move to the top of the second inning. No score here in Anchorage. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher on the hill here in inning number 2. Again, the Scout Showcase will probably feature today. This one going to be C.J. Lewington. C.J., a right-hander, 6'2", 195-pound sophomore at Southeastern Illinois College. This one to Connor Wanhanen, delivered and fouled away down the left side. 0-1 the count. Lewington on the year, working now in his 8th game, has worked 14 innings, allowing 13 hits, 13 runs, 8 of those earned, while striking out 8 and walking 16. He holds a 2-1 record with a 5.14 earned run average. Right-hander delivers the fastball that runs inside on Wanhanen. 1-1 the count. Connor getting the start out in right field tonight. The left-handed hitter. Here's a pitch. Fastball runs away. 2-1 now the count from Lewington. Lefty against the righty Lewington. Line drive down the left field line. That's going to go fall and go all the way to the wall in the corner. Rounding first and heading to second base as the left fielder Baronik picks it up and fires in the infield. Safe at second standing is the right fielder Wanhanen. That's a double to lead off things here in the top of the second.
Good piece of hitting by Connor Wanhanen. Got a pitch away from him and went with that pitch there down that left field line. Baronik tried to take an aggressive angle at it to cut it off sooner, but that ended up kind of costing him a bit. He had to go crashing into the fence over there down by that left field corner to get that ball. But ultimately, a nice piece of hitting by Connor Wanhanen. Now an early base runner here in the top of the second for the Miners. Already in scoring position.
As now Jack Zellner digs in, the left-hander. He's the DH tonight for it takes a first pitch called strike at the knees. Jack returning for his first game since the injury. Good to see him back in the lineup. He had a concussion that kept him out for a few weeks. Fastball runs inside on him. 1-1 the count to him. Zellner looking for hit number 6 on the season. So 132 batter with no home runs, 13 RBIs. Does have one triple that was blasted to center field in Palmer right before his injury. Pop foul out of play. Back behind the screen. Foul ball or home run does damage to your car. Visit the folks, the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalasca.com. The lefty Zellner facing the righty Lewington. Lewington comes set, looks back the runner at second. Now he delivers home. Fastball slapped down the left field line and out of play again. Zellner keeps the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shortstop Bass playing out in short right field right now. Everyone else straight away. Although Morton playing slightly toward the left center field gap as the wind blowing that direction slightly at the moment. Here's the pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Lewington looks to second, holds the runner there. Now fires over to first base for the out. Nice play by Lewington to react quick. Look over to second base to keep Wanhanen right there. And also fire over in time to get the out. 1 man gone here in the top of the second inning.
And probably an underrated play there by Lewington. That was a pretty hard hit ground ball right back at him, but able to get the glove up in time. Would have been in a play that at worst would have moved Wanhanen over to third, and Zellner would have been retired on a ground out to second. But good play by Lewington.
Here's a changeup missing way outside here from Lewington. 1-0 now to Jed Fagg. Jed getting the start at third base of the year. Does have 1 RBI. It's an 0.48 batting average at the moment. Trying to increase that and drive home his second run of the season with a runner on second base and just 1 man out. Fastball that misses away. 2-0 the count. Sunny skies continuing to keep a nice night here. Nice afternoon, make that. After rain all day yesterday here in Anchorage, a nice day for baseball here. Line drive back into center field. That'll fall in front of the center fielder Morton. They're going to hold the runner Wanhanen at third base. Hit number 2 of the season for Jed Fagg. And now runners on the corners with Zach Plunkett.
That's a hit that the skipper Ben Taylor loves. He loves to have his players hit towards the middle of the field, and that was a nice, solid piece of hitting there, going with the pitch and knocking it right back up the middle for a base hit.
So Zach Plunkett will dig in now, the catcher. TCU trying to drive home his team as he grounds this one up to shortstop. Flip pass infield. That's a 6-4-3 double play that erases both the base runners. So 2 runners stranded on the corners here for the Miners as we head to the bottom of the second inning. No score still. So Chinooks come to bat. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball, the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Holt Davis will lead things off for the Chinooks. Holt Davis, the first baseman. Batting 5th in the order tonight. Here's a pitch. Slider runs inside and Holt Davis 1-0 the count to him. Davis coming in with a 209 batting average. He fouls this one back to the screen. Filling in at first base now with Michael Staudinger going down for the season with an injury. The injury against the Miners just about a week ago. Here's a pitch. It's a fastball that misses down low for a ball. Excuse me, they give it to him at the knees for a called strike. Make that 2-1. Davis does have 2 doubles on the season. It's a fastball that misses away for a ball. 3-1 the count now. Be 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order for the Chinooks this inning. Here's a pitch. Fastball gets the knees here. 3-2 the count now as Valenzuela files inside behind the count here. Fell behind 3-1. Now evens the count up at 3-2 or brings it back up. Make that. Here's a payoff pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, says first or the plate. Make that the field umpire, Jim Leiser. So on to first base with a walk goes Holt Davis, and that'll bring up now the center fielder David Morton.
Good walk there, drawn by Holt Davis. Was really patient in that at bat. Laid off fastball. Was up and away from Valenzuela.
Valenzuela delivering a first pitch slider that misses away for a ball. 1-0 the count now to Morton. Valenzuela comes set, looks back the runner at first. Now a fire over to first base, back safely goes Holt Davis. Davis with 2 stolen bases on the year, trying to keep him honest over there is Valenzuela. Sebastian Valenzuela comes set, looks back the runner at first. Now he comes home. Fastball and misses upstairs for a ball. 2-0 now to David Morton. Morton, a .276 batter this season. 1 home run, 5 knocked in for him. Here's a pitch. Called strike at the knees and a fastball. 2-1 the count. The outfield going to play straight away. The infield a double play depth, trying to nip the runner at first base. No outs here in the inning. No score here in Anchorage. Valenzuela delivers over to first base. Safe again as Holt Davis. Winds for a second died down here in Anchorage, but have been fluctuating from heavy wind to slight wind all night. All day, excuse me. Fastball missing upstairs. 3-1 the count.
Zach Plunkett going to come out here and have just a little bit of a chat with his pitcher, Sebastian Valenzuela, who's had a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone in this inning, so not a bad idea to make sure that they're both on the same page here. Try and get a ground ball here to turn 2.
So lefty Valenzuela delivers a pitch. Fastball upstairs misses. Back-to-back walks issued by Valenzuela to start the inning. So now runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the inning. And I'll bring up the left-handed hitting Will Bass, the second baseman. Bass, a 183 hitter on the season. 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 13 RBIs for the year. He bats against the lefty Valenzuela. The infield a double play depth. The outfield straight away. Here's a pitch. Fastball missing outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Coming set with this Valenzuela. Ready with the second pitch of the at-bat. And it's a fastball that runs way inside on Will Bass. 2-0 the count. Now Plunkett going to come out again, as is pitching coach Matt Greeley, trying to settle down Valenzuela. Walked the first 2 batters. Now has runners on first and second and a 2-0 count on Will Bass. Summer is a perfect opportunity to work on your golf game. The Palmer Golf Course is located in the heart of Palmer, just about 2 miles from Herman Brothers Field. Call 907-745-4653 for more information. Mound visit still chat going on as they chat up and try to get a double play. Nobody out in the inning. As now Greeley will head back to the dugout and Plunkett back to the box. Valenzuela with a 2-0 count, looking in for the signs now. He comes set. Looks back the runner at second, he delivers. Slap foul on the left field line. That's out of play. Foul ball or home run does damage to your car. Visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Valenzuela ready with the 2-1. It's on the way now. Now he's got him in a rundown, actually. He lifted his leg up. He's going to throw over to third base. Fag will chase him down. He'll throw over to Tyler Wolf, nip the runner at shortstop, or he would be playing at shortstop. There's an out there. Holt Davis retired, but on to second base is Will Bass. Make that Morton.
So there's quite a bit of speed over there at second and David Morton, but a big out for Sebastian Valenzuela there. Will Bass, already a tough guy to try and double up with how speedy he is. So getting a guaranteed out has got to make Valenzuela feel good.
So I'm fouled back to the screen now by Bass here. 2-2 the count. Again with a pickoff by Valenzuela. Out at second base. Between second and third make that was Holt Davis. On safely at second base is Morton. Here's the 2-2. Fastball runs inside. 3-2 the count now. So still a runner in scoring position for the Chinooks. No score here in the bottom of the second inning. Valenzuela comes set. He delivers home. Fly ball hit to left field. Should be routine out there and moving a couple steps to the line now and making a catch as Vizcaino. 2 men out here in the inning. Of course, Vizcaino, one of 15 minors to make the All-Star team. Rick Paskowitz named. Zach Warren, Eli Morgan, Kyle Simons, Corbin Martin also. James Harrington, Calvin LeBrun, and also Brigham Hill. Harrington, LeBrun, Hill are not able to pitch, unfortunately, for them. Matt DiOrio, the catcher. Niles Nygaard at third base. Tyler Wolf, the shortstop. Tanner Nishioka has played all over the field Alex Caruso, the center fielder. Vance Viscone, of course, in left field. And Chris Hall, who's getting the start in center field, has played all over the All-Star team for the Miners. First pitch missing away for a ball, 1-0 now. Facing Hunter Hanks, the shortstop, for the first time. There's a 1-0 count on him, 2 men out here in the inning. It's a fastball that misses away again, 2-0 from the lefty Valenzuela. Hanks a 156 clip on the season. 1 double, 5 knocked in. Here's a 2-0. Line drive into right center field. Coming on and making the catch in shallow right center is the center fielder Chris Hall. So despite allowing the leadoff runners on walks, Valenzuela has good damage control, gets out of the inning, and we head now to the top of the third inning, no score. Listen to Matsu Miners baseball here in the Matsu Miners Ready. New pitcher on the hill here for the Chinooks as we enter the third inning. It's Jason Carkenny. Carkenny, a 6'3", 185-pound sophomore from the Masters College. Over the first pitch, line down in the left field, backing up a couple steps and making the catch on 1 pitch, 1 out is left fielder Cameron Baronic. Carkenny in his 10th game now. He's worked 16 and now 2/3 innings, allowing 15 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned, while striking out 9 and walking 6. Holds a 1-1 record with a 3.37 earned run average. Righty facing Tyler Wolf here. Here's a fastball in there for a called strike. Wolf batting for the second time here. He struck out swinging back in the first inning as he lines this one into left center field. That will fall for a base hit. Base hit number 4 for the Matsu Miners. They have a 1-out base runner now from the newly named All-Star in the shortstop Tyler Wolf.
And that's the type of at-bats as to why Tyler Wolf is an all-star. Taking an off-speed pitch that was outside and just doing very little with it, not trying to kill it, just gets a nice contact on the ball, puts it back up the middle towards left center field for a base hit and reaches base. He's been doing that so well, especially lately.
Next pitch is lined right at the left fielder and Baronic again. Carkenny making quick work of the Miners here. 2 men out, but a runner on first base. And just 2 pitches, he gets a base hit, does Tyler Wolf. So now a total of 4 pitches and 2 outs for Carkenny. That'll bring up Hunter Simmons again. He'll be in the home run derby tomorrow. Representing the Miners also is Matt D. Hunter singled up the middle his first time up. He's now 9 for his last 11. Called strike at the knees. 0-1 the count to him. Hunter has been playing very, very well of recent. Getting brought up here just to work on his game and not to be on the roster, but has been put on a couple times for team injuries. Changeup missing inside this time from Carkenny. Evens the count 1 strike, make that. Short lead at first for Tyler Wolf. The outfield straightaway, the infield straightaway as well. Being held at first base is Wolf by Holt Davis. Carkenny, the right-hander, delivers. Curveball missing low of the knees. 2-1 the count. Jake Schleppenbach taking his cuts on deck. Trying to extend the inning is Hunter Simmons. The Miners have 4 hits, but are looking for their first run here. Here's a pitch. Fastball gets the outside edge for a called strike. 2-2 the count. Simmons hit here to extend the inning. Here's the pitch. Foul back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes count. When talking to Hunter Simmons about his home run the other day, he hit 2 balls off the top of the left field wall. He had said that the one that did get out, he didn't think was going to stay didn't think it would get out. The one that stayed in the yard, he thought was the one that would leave the yard. So you just never know with baseball sometimes. So he grounds one on the left side. The third baseman Cromwell moving toward his left, firing across the infield. There's out number 3 here in the inning. So another base runner for the Miners, a base hit by Tyler Wolf. He's left stranded on his way to second. We move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. No score here in Anchorage. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball, the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Jacob Probst will lead things off for the Chinooks as we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Still no score here in Anchorage. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Miners. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Chinooks. Here's a pitch. Ground to the right side. It's a slow roller moving toward his left and firing by about a half step in time is Jake Schleppenbach. Out at first base goes Jacob Probst. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Valenzuela really steadied the ship after getting himself into a jam with 2 walks to lead off that bottom of the 2nd. But pickoffs, like this team has been able to do all year, gets a big one there and able to settle himself down and really look impressive in the way he handled that jam.
He has been very good in damage control today with those 2 walks last inning and really did buckle down when it came down to it. So now he faces Patrick Cromwell, the 3rd baseman. Fastball taken upstairs for a ball to him. Cromwell batting for the 2nd time today. In the leadoff spot today. Struck out swinging his first time up to start the game. A flare into left field, giving chase in the left center field gap. It's going to fall over his head now. It was a tough play out there. The wind pushed that one a little bit over the head of Vizcaíno. Rounding first and on his way to second standing now is Patrick Cromwell. Another double for him. And now for Cromwell, that's double number 2 of the season. And now it's with 1 man out, a runner in scoring position for the Chinooks.
A tough break that time for Vance Vizcaíno. We talked about the wind before this game, and it did come into play that time. He was thrown off by the wind and maybe even the sunshine a little bit out there in left field. First day game the Miners have really played here, other than the one early in June against the Bucks.
Also the first hit of the ball game for the Chinooks. Fastball missing away from Valenzuela. 1 ball, no strikes to Ferruto. Matthew battering for the 2nd time today as well. Here's a pitch. Line drive hit back into steep center field, backing up a couple steps toward the left center field gap now and making the catch as Chris Hall. He throws a bullet to third base. Would have easily gotten Cromwell at third base. It rolled there as the ball got past the cutoff man Tyler Wolf, but the throw was so great by Chris Hall, it got there in time regardless.
And you can guarantee that that was a throw the scouts were watching very intently. That ball from center field from Chris Hall, absolute cannon. And we've seen him with some great throws early on in the season that he's been able to make. He's spent a lot of his time out in right field, but that time looking impressive for the scouts too. Great throw by the Tennessee product right there.
So here's Cameron Baronic. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0 to him. Baronic back in the first inning. Reached on an error by the first baseman Hunter Simmons. Here's a slider that doesn't get over the plate as much as he would have liked. 2-0. Runner on second base. That's Cromwell. He doubled with the ball pushing it over Vizcaino's head. Vizcaino would come out to try to make the catch there. It blew over his head. That's the first hit of the ball game for the Chinooks then. Here's a fastball that misses inside now. 3-0 now to Baronic. Runner on second base. Scoring position here for the Chinooks with 2 outs here in the inning, Here's a pitch. Fastball missing upstairs. A 4-pitch walk issued to Baronic. The third walk issued in the third inning for Valenzuela. Now runners on first and second with just 2 outs here.
I don't think Valenzuela was intending to walk there walk Baronic, but not the worst strategy with how well the Baronic has been able to hit against this team this year. Take your chances here at the cleanup hitter, Andrew Mogg. Try and get yourself out of the inning.
Valenzuela coming set. He delivers. 1-0 the count. It's to Andrew Mogg, the catcher. Mogg, his first time up, would fly out to center field. It's a fastball that misses away this time too. 2-0 now the count.
When you look at guys who have killed the minors this year and have had some influential hits, you look at Kevin Veers, who had a 2-run double in Palmer against the minors. And also won one of those games this past Monday. He's the number 1 guy, but Baronic's second on that list for sure with how many times he's been able to reach base against minors pitching.
The 2-0 misses low for a fastball. 3-0 the count now. 7 consecutive balls issued here from the left-hander Valenzuela. Trying to get over for a strike here. 3-0 with 2 men out here in the inning, and this time a fastball gets the knees. You really got to look at your fastballs against this guy, though. Mogg has a lot of power. Couple of home runs on the season for him. Here's a 3-1. This time a changeup misses outside. Ball 4 issued now to Mogg. The bases will be loaded here in the third inning. A base hit. That was a double off the bat of Cromwell. Now back-to-back walks issue with 2 outs. And now with the bases loaded, it's Holt Davis.
The Chinooks having a lot of patience at the plate right now. Have been able to do all this damage with just 1 hit so far. That hit by Cromwell that led off this inning, that double. Baronic and Mogg able to reach on walks because of patient at bats. Now Valenzuela going to try and get out here. Play at any base against Davis.
As a fastball missing upstairs to Holt Davis, 1-0, and now Hunter Simmons and Tyler Wolf going to come to the hill to make sure everything's all right with Valenzuela. The meeting breaks up. They go back to their respective positions. Simmons at first, Wolf, and Holt Davis, who walked back in the second inning to lead things off, then will step to the plate. The bases loaded, a 1-0 count, 2 men out. No score here in Anchorage. Fastball missing away again. It's a 2-0 count, and that'll bring up Matt Gruey, the pitching coach, out to the mound again. Clearly frustrated as Valenzuela about not hitting the strike zone the last few batters. Kicks a little bit of dirt up there. A meeting there to make sure everybody's still on the same page.
When you look at the pitches, though, that Valenzuela's thrown, there's been quite a few, though, that are borderline pitches. They're right on the edge. especially with that slider, a couple fastballs that have been just a little off, and that might be the most frustrating thing for him is he's not missing the zone by much. With every umpire, sometimes that zone's going to be different, and maybe he's still trying to find the adjustment to that zone. It's not like he's sailing balls way outside from these hitters. He's not missing the corners by much, but it has cost him with a few walks, already 4 in this game.
This one popped up in the air, foul. And a 2-1 count as he delivers a strike here to bounce back. Pitch. Fastball missing low and away, excuse me. That's down the dirt here. Plunkett able to block that one, but now working with the 3-1 count is Valenzuela. The bases will be loaded. Still needing one pitch to get out of the inning, but in a big hole here, cannot afford to throw a ball or he'll walk in a run. Here's a 3-1. Foul back to the screen, evens the count. So now a pitch away from getting a strikeout to end the inning, but still a ball away from walking in a run. It's a tough situation to be in for a pitcher. Valenzuela trying to work out of a jam. So far, he's had a couple of jams in the innings he's had, but it's been able to work out of each of them. Trying to work out of this one here. The runners go. A swing and a miss. Holt Davis goes down swinging. A nice damage control again by Valenzuela. It's been very good when working with runners on base today. And we'll head to the top of the 4th inning with Kevin Peel taking over the play-by-play action. This is the Matsu Miners Baseball and the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Looking for ways to get closer to the Valleys team? Now you can. Like Facebook, you can also follow them on Twitter at ABL Miners. Get more connected with your Miners today. Scoreless as we enter the 4th inning. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Miners. Jake Schleppenbach going to start it off here. New pitcher for the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks is Luke Eigsty, 6'2", righty out of and 190 pounds out of the University of Alabama, Birmingham. First pitch is low for a ball to Schleppenbach, 1-0. Schleppenbach, 0 for 1 today, 1-0. And that one misses outside for a ball. And quickly ahead in the count is Schleppenbach, 2-0. Luke, originally from Scottsdale, Arizona, 2-0. Is outside for a ball. Count 3-0 to Jake Schleppenbach. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Miners. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Chinooks. That one catches the outside corner for a strike to Schleppenbach. The slider. The count now 3-1. Chinooks have been able to benefit from 4 walks issued by Sebastian Valenzuela, but no runs coming across as Schleppenbach will take a 5-pitch walk here to start off this top of the 4th inning. I'll bring up Connor Wanhanen. Nice patient at bat there for Schleppenbach.
Now just a second walk issued by Chinooks pitching today. And it comes to start out for Luke Eichste.
And that one is a called strike with a fastball in the inside corner. Count 0-1. Connor Wanhanen today, 1 for 1. With that double down the left field line. 0-1. There's a curveball that is high over the outside corner, but high. So the count 1-1. Schleppenbach getting a modest lead at first base in a scoreless game. Miners trying to move him over here. Schleppenbach's taking off with the pitch, and this one lined towards left. Be an easy play for left fielder for the Chinooks. So it looked like Cameron Baronic checking out. Braxton Wilkes out there in left field. Jack Zellner going to come to the plate as Andrew Mogg is going to come out and have a quick chat with the pitcher, Luke Eichste. Cameron Baronic going to move to center field here. And Caleb Potter over to right. New third baseman as well, David Morton, moves into the infield. Will Bass and Hunter Hanks still the double play combination. Curveball's high from Eichste for a ball to Jack Zellner, 1-0. It was good to see Jack Zellner gain his first plate appearance. And he'll take a ball that time. Up and away, 2-0. First baseman down to the University of New Mexico. Went down with a concussion. He didn't know he had for a couple weeks, was playing through it. Throw to the runner and Schleppenbach back in. It was really toughing it. And that night early to see him back. And you know he's ready to hit the ball. Misses low for a ball, 3-0. A guy that has a lot of power, especially to right field. You've seen him hit some big flies there in batting practice. We know that power's there. 3-0 floats outside, and Eichste walks another. Second walk of the inning. Third of the game for Chinooks pitching. Schleppenbach will move over to second, and Jack Zellner on to first. Still scoreless, but the Miners threatening here again. In the top of the fourth, they'll bring up Jed Fagg, who's 1 for 1 with his single on a line back up the middle.
Might be a good start for Jed Fagg to get it going here against what the scouts watched him today with a base hit to score a run.
Curveball for a strike on the outside corner at the knees to Jed Fagg, and the count 0-1. Jed out of the University of Nevada in Reno. Second 0-1. Swung on and missed big cut. It was a changeup from Eichste, and the count now 0-2. The Miners' third baseman. Who's had some trouble finding playing time with Tanner Nishioka and Niles Nygaard playing so well at that position. This one's grounded into right field, a base hit. They're going to stop Schleppenbach right there as Potter was able to field it in short right field. So that will load the bases on the single by Jed Fagg. He's 2 for 2. 5 hits now for the Miners. Still scoreless, though, but only 1 out. And they'll bring up Zach Plunkett, who's looking to redeem himself from that last at-bat, which he grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end that second inning.
And really a tough spot for Eichste to be in. Even a double play would play to run right now, depending on where it's hit at. Now the bases loaded back to hit by Jed seems to be locked in today at the plate. He has more hits today than he's had to this point in the season. He hasn't had much playing time this year, but when he's been in there now, he's making the most of it, getting a couple base hits, and now putting this tough spot here for the Chinooks.
Both teams have had some jams, but the pitching staffs both have been able to work out of them so far. We'll see if Eichste can find his way through this one. Swung on and missed at the fastball on the outside corner and up at the letters to Plunkett, 0-1. It is a warm and glorious early afternoon in Anchorage, 66 degrees, but feels much warmer than that. Curveball drops in at the knees to Plunkett. On the 2. 1 out in the inning. Hit to the outfield, could score 1, though. Good speed. college teammate of Plunkett. Connor on Hanem was retired, but Schleppenbach over there at second, or at third. Ball low and outside. Count now 1 and 2. It's Jack Zauner. Drew a walk down there at second. And Jed Fagg, his second single of the day. He's down there at first. Righty versus the righty, Zach Plunkett. And that one misses outside for a ball from Ikesy. Count now 2 and 2. Luke Ikesy pitching in his 10th inning of the season. 7.0 ERA coming in. 8 strikeouts. Got Plunkett to swing through it on a good fastball on the outer half of the plate. Big strikeout there. Now 2 gone, and that will bring up the hot-hitting Chris Hall.
It's a big strikeout there for Ikesty to really settle the Miners down and force any base in the infield, but Chris Hall not an easy out. Another all-star for the Miners.
Scoreless game. Miners still threatening here with 2 outs. Ball low to Chris Hall, count 1-0. Miners starting center fielder out of the University of Tennessee. Batting over .320. Had his first home run of the year this past week. Takes the ball up high. 2-0. That home run kind of foreshadowed on Wednesday night in what was a 17-run outburst by the Matsu Miners, defeating the Oilers. 17-1 in that contest. 2-0. It is on the outside corner with a fastball for a strike from Ikesty. And the count now 2-1.
Ikesty trying to do what Valenzuela was able to do is strand the bases in the inning here. Chris Hall trying to change that, put the ball in a gap somewhere, and score a whole bunch of runs for the Miners.
2-1. Is outside for a ball. Nowhere to put him. And Hall way ahead in the count on Luke Ikesty, 3-1. So he's in a similar situation of Valenzuela last inning, had to claw himself out of a 3-1 jam. And he's not able to do it this time. A base is loaded. Walk is issued to Chris Hall as he'll drive in a run. Jake Schleppenbach comes in to score. 2-out run for the Miners makes it 1-0 here. The 4th inning not over, and that'll bring up Tyler Wolf.
Good plate discipline there by Chris Hall. Sometimes guys will go up there and swing for the fences with the bases loaded, trying to be the hero. He doesn't find a pitch he wants, draws a walk, and brings in a run.
Curveball floats outside from Luke Ikesty to Tyler Wolf. Count now 1-0. Wolf, the shortstop out of Kansas State. 1-0. And that one low for a ball as well. Ikesty way behind in the count now to Miners shortstop. 2-0. And they're going to maybe throw to check the runner at second. Called strike, though. Instead, issued. It was Jed Fagg at second. Hunter Hanks all of a sudden sprinted towards the second base bag, but Ikesty went to the plate instead of throwing to check Fagg. Count 2-1 on Wolf. Swung on and missed. Got him to swing through a ball, get past Andrew Mogg, but not far enough for where Zellner is able to try to come home. I'll even the count at 2 as Wolf swung through and missed it. Wolf 1 for 2 today with a single. Said it a lot of times, that 225 average a bit misleading with how hard he hits the ball. 2-2. And this one is chopped back up the middle. Hanks, he bobbles. There's going to be no play as coming in to score is Jed Fagg, or Jack Zellner, excuse me. Tyler Wolf will reach base. We'll see how they rule it. Would have been a tough play. We're not sure if Tyler Wolf is going to get credit with an infield single and an RBI or if he reached on an error.
Still waiting on the official ruling here to see if he did get that run in.
But nonetheless, a tough play there. It will be ruled an error for the Chinooks, at least on the scoreboard. Called strike. The slider from Luke Ikesty. Count 0-1. Miners now leading 2-0. As Tyler Wolf able to drive one in. It's either going to be an earned or an unearned run to Ikesty. 0-1 is fouled off Another slider on the outside corner. Count now 0-2 on Vance Vizcaino. He's 0 for 1 today, officially. Bases still loaded with Miners. Jed Fag at third, Chris Hall at second, and Tyler Wolf at first. And the 0-2 pitch is up high for a ball. Count now 1-2. Still no official ruling on that play.
It's been ruled officially an error by the shortstop.
One and two. All slider that hit the inside corner for strike number 3. That retires the side, but the Miners do strike for 2. Chris Hall draws a bases loaded walk, and Tyler Wolf able to drive one in on reaching on an error. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Mulcahy Stadium. Miners 2, Chinooks nothing. You're listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network. Want to learn more about your Matsu Miners? Visit their website at www.matsuminers.org. It provides you with schedules, stats, rosters, upcoming events, and more. MatsuMiners.org, the official website of the Matsu Miners. Miners leading 2-0, and we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. There's going to be a new pitcher. It'll be Byron Hood on the hill. He's pitched 9 innings this season, ERA with 9 strikeouts. And he looks to check in here with the Miners leading by 2. He'll face David Morton to start off this bottom of the 4th. Takes one outside for a ball. 1-0 to the Chinook base out in the outfield. Moved him up with the defensive changes. This one is popped foul and out of play towards the parking lot. 1-1. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Miners today. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for these Chinooks. 1-1 from Byron Hood. Is fouled out of play right over the Chinooks dugout. Count now 1-2.
Morton reached the board with the walk his only time up today. Also going to second when Holt Davis would walk as well.
Byron Hood, 1-2, is lined towards left center field. Could be a tough play, but sprinting over there in the left center field gap and making the catch is Vance Vizcaino, showing off his range a bit out there in the outfield in front of the scouts. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I'll bring up Will Bass.
That range, a big reason why he'll also be an all-star tomorrow for Vance Vizcaino. The Miners having a lot of players this year on that roster, 15 of them in total.
Byron Hood, 6'1", 180-pounder out of Nebraska. Pitching and now his second batter, Will Bass. Bass takes the ball outside on a fastball from Hood. The count now 1-0. Quickly ready is Byron Hood. 1-0. Fouled straight back and out of play right over our heads. Count 1-1. Byron Hood offers a lot in terms of velocity, 93 to 95 on the gun with that fastball. So good off-speed pitches. 1-1. It's popped up, but straight back, and Plunkett's going to give it a look, but not going to be able to track it. Count now 1-2 on Will Bass. Hunter Hanks standing on deck. In a 2-0 game right now, Miners leading. Back, but straight away on Bass. Missing inside for a ball is Byron Hood with that fastball. 2-2. Out in center, Chris Hall shading just a little bit more towards the left center field gap, the late shift. Even count on Will Bass, 2-2. And the offering from Hood is outside for a ball. I'll fill up the count 3-2. Nobody on here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 out. He was ahead of Tyler Wolf and into left field for a base hit. Wolf was right underneath it, but that ball hit just high enough to get over the glove of Wolf and into left center field. Base hit for Will Bass. That's his first hit of the game. Now I'll bring up Hunter Hanks. So just 1 out here in this bottom of the fourth. 2-0 Miners leading. First pitch from Byron Hood is a curveball low and outside in the dirt. Count 1-0. Nice stop there by the catcher, Zach Plunkett. Had to slide outside towards that left-handed hitter's batter's box. As Hood was trying to get Hanks to chase that curveball. 1-0. And couldn't check his swing in time as Hunter Hanks chased the fastball up and in. Count now 1-1. There was a snap throw as well to check Will Bass. He was back in safely. Hunter Hanks tried to put a quick tag on him. Throw to check Bass, and he's back in safely. This is base umpire Jim Miser. Count 1-1. No activity in the Chinooks bullpen for now. So that was a throw over to check runner Will Bass. Count still remains 1-1 to Hunter Hanks. Chinooks have been using a different pitcher in each game of the day today. That one misses high with a fastball from Byron Hood. Count now 2-1. With them only playing one contest, they're able to trying to get all those arms out there, get some appearances in front of the scouts. Lost a game yesterday due to the rain out. That one comes way up and in and just missed Hunter Hanks. He was able to dodge out of the way on one of those mid-90s fastballs from Byron Hood. So count 3-1. It's Jacob Bropes that stands on deck. Caleb Potter. Excuse me. Three-1 is inside for a ball on Hunter Hanks. We'll take a walk. So 2 men on now, just 1 out here in this bottom of the fourth inning. Still 2-0 Miners. It is Jacob Brobst. Caleb Potter not yet checking into the contest. Brobst out of Ohio State. Guy that's made a good bid at the All-Star team. Byron Hood. Going to have Zach Plunkett come out and chat with him. So there's 2 on and just 1 out. From the stretch, Byron Hood takes a look towards second, a long look, and now he's ready. And it's a called strike with a fastball at the knees to Brobes, 0-1. Hanks reaching base for the first time today after drawing that walk. Speedy Will Bass at second. Tying runs are on for Brobst. Long look from towards second again. This one grounded back up the middle, and Tyler Wolf will go to second for one by himself and relay on to first. It's a 6-3 double play to end this fourth inning here at Mulcahy Stadium with the Miners ahead 2-0. We head to the fifth in this one. When we come back, Kyle Howard will have the play-by-play. For the rest of this contest, you're listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network.
Fifth inning here in Anchorage. 2-0 the Miners lead it, and it'll be a new pitcher on the hill. It's Submarine pitcher Travis Stone. Stone from Stephen F. Austin State University. He's a freshman there. Now working game number 10 of the season. Is 13 1/3 innings pitched, allowing 11 hits, while allowing 6 runs, 5 of those earned. And also striking out 9 and walking 6, holding a record of 1-1. With a 3.37 earned run average, while also holding a save this season. It'll start things off with Hunter Simmons to the plate. Some defensive changes also for the Chinooks. Down right field, Caleb Potter. Baronic moves from left to center. Braxton Wilkes enters the game in left. First pitch taken there for called strikes to Hunter Simmons. He's 1 for 2 with a single today. Also across the infield, Ferruto checks in or moves over to second base from DH. Over to third base goes Morton. Behind the plate, Tyler Boxwell now. Well, misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Travis Stone. Stone again with an unorthodox motion. So Submarine pitcher as he chops this one in front of the mound, up in the air. Fielding it, a Stone will fire across the infield and get the out there. Ball straight up in the air off the plate there. But Stone able to run in and make the catch up in the air on the chop ball. Fire over to first base and get the out there, but tough play for him. Nice play by Stone. 1 man out here in the top of the 5th inning. So now that brings up Jake Schleppenbach. Jake looking at the last 1-0 to him. Miners getting both of their runs back in the 4th inning. Line drive to left field. That's over the jumping Hunter Hanks and into left field for a base hit. First base hit of the day for Schleppenbach. Miners have hit number 6 here. Now 1 out base runner for the Miners, and Connor Wanhanen, who also had a doubles or singles last time up.
That one looking eerily similar to the single that was lined over the glove of Tyler Wolf from Will Bass. Times Jake Schleppenbach. A very solidly hit ball. Now 1 on here with 1 out.
Stone delivers a slider that misses away. 1-0 the count to him. Now to Connor Wanhanen. Connor 1 for 2 with that single his first time up. Stone comes set with a runner on first base. Here's a pitch. Line drive to left. Backing up, now coming in a couple steps in left field. Reaching out and making the catch is the left fielder Wilkes. Back to first base goes Jake Schleppenbach. 2 men out here in the inning for Stone. Stone just completing his first year at Stephen F. Austin. So he's a native of Carrollton, Texas. Also attending Stephen F. Austin, which is in the hometown of Brigham Hill and Nacogdoches, Texas. Fastball missing outside. 1-0 the count now to Jack Zellner. Zellner looking for his first hit of the day. Did walk earlier in the game. Came around to score run number 2 of the day. Fastball runs inside now. That was last inning in the 4th inning. Both Schleppenbach and Zellner would reach base on walks and come around to score. Coming set with the Stone now. He delivers home. Fastball missing away. So a 3-0 count now on Zellner, in danger of Stone of walking Zellner for the second time today. So lefty Zellner stands in against Stone. Here's a pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike. It's a 3-1 count now. Infield and outfield both straight away in this sunny afternoon here in Anchorage. Zellner back for his first game, now looking for his first hit again since returning for the Miners. Here's a pitch. Ground ball to second. Moving toward the second base, bobbling. Now flipping onto second base is a second baseman Ferruto. Covering it was Hunter Hanks from shortstop to get the out. Move to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Miners still hold a 2-0 lead. They look to continue holding that as they come back to play defense here. So the Matsu Miners baseball and the Matsu Miners radio network. Braxton Wilkes will bat for the first time today, leading off the inning. Here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, trailing 2-0 are the Chinooks. The Miners getting both of their 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning. Wilkes, also a pitcher on this team, has started a game against the Miners this year, but on the year a 286 batter. He scored 5 runs, getting 12 base hits and an RBI as he grounds one on the first pitch on a chopper over to Schleppenbach on one knee, firing across over to first base with a covering Hunter Simmons there. 1 man out to start the 5th inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Byron Hood here. That'll bring up Matthew Ferruto. Ferruto, 0 for 2 on the day, looking for his first base hit. His team trailing 2-0. The Chinooks just with 2 hits to this point, as they've had base runners thanks to walks so far, but only 2 base hits to show for it here in the 5th inning. Fastball way up and away from Byron Hood. 1-0 the count now to Ferruto. Started the game as a DH, would move over to second base. Here's the pitch. Curveball just misses, and only by a hair from Byron Hood here. 2-0 the count. Outfield and infield will play straight away. As Schleppenbach going to play out on the edge of the grass and short right field now. Here's a 2-0 from Hood. Curveball gets the outer edge for a called strike to Ferruto. 2-1 the count. Ferruto, the right-handed hitter, against the right-hander Byron Hood. Coming set with it is Hood. He delivers home. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Evens the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last season, Ferruto, a member of the UAB Blazers, where they went 33-25 last season, falling in the finals of the Conference USA Championship. A very successful team there was Ferruto. Here's a pitch. Checks. Base umpire Jim Leiser says no, he did not. There's a late call by him, but he gives him a ball here. A full count working now on Ferruto. A payoff pitch coming in just a second as Ferruto going to take a second to step out of the box. Now he digs back in. Byron Hood will come set. Ready with the payoff pitch. Here it comes. Fastball missing upstairs. That's ball 4. On to first base now goes Ferruto. He reaches base for the first time today. Now they'll bring up Cameron Baronic. Baronic also 0 for 1, but he has reached base in a walk. Miners trying to get a double play to end this inning as the infield will now move to double play depth. The center fielder Chris Hall moves slightly toward the left center field gap. Hood will come set and deliver home. It's a fastball that gets low in the dirt. No, and the throw over to second base. Standing goes Ferruto on the pass. We'll say I think it'll be a wild pitch scored in the book. It's a tough play there for the catcher and Zach Plunkett to get to it. The ball a little bit outside of the zone. He had to block it in front of the plate. So with that wild pitch on to second base goes Ferruto, a runner in scoring position with just 1 out. That cancels out the double play possibility there. So the infield and will now move back to normal positions here. Tyler Wolf will creep up towards second base for a second. Now back off at shortstop. Hood will come set. Looks back to runner Ferruto at second. Now delivers. Fastball missed inside. They'll try to throw down to second base. Nobody there to cover. It goes into center field. But thankfully, Chris Hall there to back it up for the Miners. Zach Plunkett, I think, had some miscommunication there. Maybe a missed sign somewhere that they're going to throw down there, but nobody was there to cover the ball. The ball went into center field, but not far enough as Chris Hall was there to back it up quickly. Ferruto will stay on second base. A 2-0 count now on Baronic. Here's the pitch. Fastball gets away from Plunkett here, but he's able to regather it quickly. 3-0 the count now.
That's a ball that occasionally a lot of faster runners like Ferruto are able to run, but with Zach Plunkett's strong arm, knew he did not have time to try and advance on that play. Much the ball got past him a little bit.
Hood comes set and delivers a 3-0 pitch. It's a 4-pitch walk issued on a fastball away. And now back-to-back batters here with 1 man out have reached base via walk. That'll bring up Boxwell for the first time today. Boxwell with a immense pop. Now Matt Greeley going to come out there to make sure everything's okay for Byron Hood out there. But certainly a tough jam for him to be in. Runners on first and second. A 2-0 ball game here with 1 man out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Trying to get a double play to get out of it. But Boxwell not an easy guy to double off. He's got a lot of power. He usually does not hit ground balls. He usually hits them in the air somewhere.
And it is a percentage advantage here for the Roxwell guy who's hit very well this year against Miners pitching. So one that the pitching coach, Matt Greeley, wants him to make sure he's throwing the right pitches and not making a mistake here because Boxwell can hit a long way.
And the pitching meeting on the hill breaks up. Back to the dugout goes Matt Greeley, the pitching coach. Back to home plate goes the catcher, Zach Plunkett. But as you mentioned, Boxwell has a lot of pop. It went off the top of the wall at Herman Brothers Field recently that would stay in the yard, similar to Hunter Simmons' shot. 2 shots make that the other day when one would leave the yard, one would stay in the yard. Now he's ready to pitch as Byron Hood. He delivers a first pitch curveball and misses away. 1-0 to Tyler Boxwell. Boxwell checking in at catcher to start the inning. Comes into the game hitting .224. 5 runs scored. 4 doubles on the season with 7 runs batted in. So he pops this one up to the left side. Coming in shallow left now toward the line and making the catch is Vance Vizcaino, out number 2 in the inning, and a big out for Byron Hood against the guy with a lot of pop. The runners have to retreat to first and second base with 2 outs now for Holt Davis.
Great pitch there from Byron Hood, jamming him there, able to get that pop up to short left field. But he does have to face a guy in Holt Davis who's had a lot of big situations against the Miners this year, hasn't quite been able to come through, and he would love to do that here.
First pitch, a fastball missing way outside to Davis. 1-0 to him, but Holt came up in the bottom of the 3rd inning with the bases loaded with 2 men out and ended up striking out to end the inning. The 1-0 pitch now from Byron Hood. Here's a pitch. Fastball missing low in the dirt. Plunkett had a hard time finding it for a second, but able to regather it and fire back to the mound. Infield and outfield both straight away. Chris Hall relatively shallow in center. As the righty Hood comes back to the rubber. Runners on first and second. Hood will come set. Here's the pitch. Curveball missing away again. There's 3-0 on Holt Davis now. Scouts on hand to watch this one here today as the Miners have a 2-0 lead here, and runners on first and second with 2 men out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Byron Hood would certainly like to show the scouts how he can work out of this jam. Here's a 3-0. Fastball missing in. Holt Davis earns a 4-pitch walk. So now the bases are loaded for Byron Hood on 3 walks in the inning. So that'll bring up David Morton now to bat up here and try to bring home a run. 2 Miners Chinooks here in the 5th inning, but certainly like a base hit to potentially score 2 to tie it. Byron Hood trying to keep it right where it's at, though. David Morton has 5 runs knocked in on the year. Fastball taken upstairs for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. He also does have 1 home run. 1 home run right here would be costly. It would be a grand slam if he's able to take the yard. Here's a 2-0, or the 1-0, excuse me. Popped up to the screen. It's 1-1 the count. Outfield and infield playing straight away in the sunny afternoon here in Anchorage. Good crowd on hand here as the Miners are trying to take this one in this first of 2 games today. This one is a 7-inning game. The one later against the Bucks is 5 innings. Change-up running inside now. 2-1 the count now on David Morton. The lefty Morton against the righty Hood. Currently a 2-1 count with 2 outs here in the inning. The bases are loaded. Here's a pitch. Fastball misses up high for a ball. It's 3-1 now. Hood in a major trouble here. 1 more pitch here outside of the zone would be a walk that would allow a run to score. That's how the Miners scored their first run. Hood comes back to the rubber and comes set. Looking in for the signs. The base is loaded. A 3-1 pitch with 2 outs. Here it is. Fly ball hit to left field. Vizcaino chasing toward the line, but that will get out of play. Payoff pitch coming. In just a moment with the bases loaded, everybody will be off and running. Big pitch coming from Byron Hood. Bottom of the 5th inning in a 2-0 ball game. Trying to earn a strikeout. And try to get the Miners out of this inning and preserve that 2-0 lead they have. But payoff pitch coming, a 3-2 pitch. The runners will be off and running with 2 outs. Hood comes set. Here's a payoff pitch. flying out to left field. That's getting out of play again, so we'll go full again in just a moment. Foul ball, the home run does damage to your car. Visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Now, center fielder Chris Hall going to move toward the left center field gap slightly. The payoff pitch ready now. Here it comes. Popped up to the left side, giving chase and foul ground is Jed Fagg, but no room for him again. So again, a payoff pitch coming with 2 men out for David Morton. Byron Hood going to have to deliver another strike here.
Morton fighting hard in this at bat. Byron Hood been trying to throw that fastball by him, but Morton able to catch up to it and at least foul it off for now. Seems like Hood's going to have to try and continue to pound the strike zone to retire Morton.
3-2 pitch. Here it is. The runners go. Chopped up down the first base line. That's getting out of play again. 4 consecutive fouls here off the bat of David Morton with a 3-2 count on him. So now Byron Hood trying to bear down and fire another strike here to David Morton. He's been very pesky with the pitches in this at bat. Holt Davis on first. Ruto on third base. The runners go. This one chopped foul again over the Miners dugout. A nice grab by Niles Nygaard reaching across to get the ball. 3-2 count coming. Byron Hood looking in again. Another payoff pitch coming. So runners will be off and ready to go. They leave. Fastball misses away. Ball 4. In comes a run. 2-1 ball game. As Matthew Ferruto crosses the plate on a lengthy at-bat walk. So a nice at-bat by Ferruto that he wins. That's going to bring out the manager, Ben Taylor. And that's going to be it for Byron Hood. New pitcher will be coming on in just a moment. It's going to be Caleb McCann in just a moment. He'll try to keep it right where it's at in a 2-1 ball game with 2 men out here in the fifth. We'll be back in just a moment with that. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Right-hander Caleb McCann from Appalachian State takes over with 2 outs and the bases loaded. A big situation for him in a 2-1 ball game. Just a moment ago, a walk was issued with the bases loaded to give the Chinooks their first run of the ball game. It's a 2-1 ball game now. McCann now working his 11th game. So far has worked in 11 innings, holding an 0-0 record with a 2.45 earned run average. And has struck out 6 and walked 6. Allowing 3 runs, all of those earned this season, just allowing 8 hits in the process. It's been very good in relief for this Miners team this year and having a big opportunity in this scout showcase to show exactly what he's made of. Having a bases loaded situation here and 2 men out in a 2-1 ball game, trying to preserve that lead. He'll be facing Will Bass to do so. Step to the rubber now as Will Bass takes the plate here. Will Bass 1 for 2 in the day with a single. Certainly like a base hit to plate another run, maybe 2, and give the Chinooks at least a tie or maybe a lead at that point. McCann has other ideas, trying to get an out here to end the inning and keep the game right where it's at. Will Bass going to dig into the box here. Sunny afternoon here in Anchorage. Nice crowd on here, and as the Miners and the Chinooks are taking off in a neutral site this afternoon here at Mulcahy Stadium. McCann delivers the first pitch. It's a fastball in there for a called strike. 0-1 now to the Will Bass. Bass moving to the DH spot now after he started the game at second base. Here's a pitch to him. Line drive to the third baseman. It's going to fall right in front of Jed Fagg. He'll take the ball himself to the third base back. On one hop, Jed Fagg gathers the ball, and he takes the ball to third base to make that. Gets the final out of the inning. Strands the bases loaded. So on 2 pitches, McCann able to do the job, strand the bases loaded, and keep the game right where it's at 2-1. We move to the top of the 6th inning, 2-1 Miners, right here in your Matsu Miners Radio Network. Right-hander Grant Page assumes the hill here in the top of the 6th inning for the Chinooks. Now working his 9th game of the season. He's 1-2 with a 3.02 earned run average. 5 of those games have been starts this year for him. 35 2/3 innings total for him this year, while striking out 8, walking 18, and allowing 34 hits. Pitching now in his 5th game against the Miners. This one chopped to third base, charging in on his third baseman and firing in time for the out. Nice play by the third baseman, Morton, who moved from center field to third base last inning. So ball chopped by Jed Fagg, the first time he's been retired today, with 2 hits before that.
That's a ball that's heading right towards the shortstop, and one that would be normally a shortstop's play, but with the slow roller and Jed Fagg running hard from the plate there, Morton realized he needed to get to that one quick.
Popped up on the infield to the right side. The first baseman, Holt Davis, toward the Miners' dugout, calling off and making the catch. And so far, a 2-pitch, 2-out performance by Grant Page. It's the right-hander from Stephen F. Austin, pitching pretty well against the Miners this year. His last outing against them was a 5 2/3 inning start against them. He allowed just 2 hits in that performance and walking 2. Did not factor in the decision. The Miners ended up winning the ball game 4-0. That was back on July 12th. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 now to Chris Hall. Hall getting a start in center field today. Again, that 3-run homer on just a few nights ago, back on Thursday. Fastball missing away. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Hall has an RBI and a walk his last time up. That was the first time the Miners were able to score on the and now have a 2-1 lead here in inning number 6. Here's a pitch. Bunted at and pulled back, but takes a strike at the knees, does Chris Hall. 1-2 the count now to him. Grant Page trying to get a 1-2-3 inning as he grounds this one down the first base line, but foul. Holt Davis picks it up. Flips it on over to Grant Page. Now another 1-2 count. Page from Sugar Land, Texas. He comes set, ready with the 1-2. Lefty Hall waits the 1-2. It's a fastball missing away and low. 2-2 the count. Tyler Wolf on deck. Chris Hall with his .311 batting average, trying to improve it here with a base hit. Chopped to the second base back. 3 bounce for over to second base, and firing in time is Ferruto for the out. A 1-2-3 inning turn by Grant Page. Miners hold a 2. Continue that as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1, the Miners lead it on your Matsu Miners Radio Network. Hunter Hanks set to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing 2-1. As Caleb McCann trying to keep the game right where it's at. Got a 2-pitch out to end the 6th inning in relief. It was a first pitch curveball that misses high and inside for a ball to Hanks. Hunter 0 for 1 and also walked on the day. McCann winds and delivers. Pop foul now to play. 1-1 the count. If a foul ball or home run does damage to your car, visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 1-2 count now coming from the right-hander Caleb McCann. His brother Jacob and his mother also out here to visit him last week. Caleb has a twin, as Jacob is. Chopped in front of the mound, but off the leg of Hunter Hanks, says home plate umpire and James Ainsworth. Caleb McCann winds and delivers the 1-2. Chopped throwing across the infield is Tyler Wolf for the out. 1 man out here for Caleb McCann in the inning. Making good work as Caleb McCann on the hill. And that'll be Caleb Potter to pinch hit here. Potter entering the game, or excuse me, not pinch hitting. He's entering the game in right field earlier. He'll be now stepping the plate for the first time. Correction there. Fouls this one back to the screen. 0-1 the count now from the righty McCann. Potter trying to get on base here and try to start a rally for a team trailing 2-1 right now in the Chinooks. Curveball over the knees for a called strike. 0-2 now. They keep counting on the right fielder. Potter stands here at 146 on the season. 2 doubles and 4 knocked in. Deliver the fastball down low. 1-2 now for McCann. Potter the righty against the righty McCann. 2-1 ball game. Here's the 1-2 to him. Fastball away misses again. 2-2 the count now to him. Here's the line, the 2-2. Up fast screen. 2-2 again the count. Caleb Potter, a teammate, of course, of last year's home run derby champion and Jackson Kramer of the Chinooks. Ground to the shortstop. The firing across the infield again in time. Similar play to the one just before that. 2 nice plays over a shortstop for Tyler Wolf to put 2 outs on the board. Now they'll bring up Braxton Wilkes for his first at bat of the day.
And Caleb Potter is going to have the opportunity in his teammates' footsteps from last year to try and keep the victory of the home run derby right in the Chinooks ballpark. We'll have that for you here on the Miners Radio Network.
Curveball to Wilkes. 0-1 the count to him. Six clip coming into the day with an 1 RBI in the season. Line drive to deep right center field, coming on and making the catch running out there is Connor Wanhanen in the inning. Went a long way to get that one as that ball was hitting a line, but out there to make the catch was Connor Wanhanen in the inning. So 1-2-3 inning turned by McCann. He's retired all 4 batters he's faced to this point. We move to the top of the 7th inning. The Miners will try to play add-on. It's a Matsu Miners baseball and a 2-1 ball game. Your Matsu Miners Radio Network. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by human error? The Matsu Miners have joined the movement to spread the public's awareness to this dangerous natural awareness. Whatever your reason for lighting a fire is, always do so responsibly. For questions on burning in the Matsu area or to learn how to acquire a burn permit, call 907-73. Visit www.forestryalaska.gov. Because as Smokey Bear would say, only you can prevent wildfires. Right-hander Shane Armstrong takes over on the hill here in the top of the 7th inning. It's a 2-1 ball game. The Miners lead it here. It's a 2-1 record on the year with a 2.66 earned run average, does Armstrong. Working in his 11th game, 2 of those starts as he first pitch is chopped to the second baseman Ferruto. Easy play for him. He fires in time for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out for Shane Armstrong. And back to the dugout goes Tyler Wolf.
And him and Graham Page early on looking good in terms of throwing strikes. We're going to get up to the manager. Jordan Vieira wants another pitcher in there as well. Might have accidentally brought in Armstrong in the first place.
Armstrong originally used as was listed as a safety guy, maybe if in case things should get bad, but he works 1 batter here, retires 1 batter on 1 pitch, so exactly what he'd be brought in to do. But for a second, we're going to step aside as we get the new pitcher. You're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball when we come back on your Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher will be Lucas Hamelink from Augusta, Michigan. 6'3", 190-pound right-hander. He's a junior at Hillsdale College. She will face now Vance Vizcaíno with 1 out in the inning. This year, Hamelink 1-2 with a .406 earned run average in 7 games, 5 of those starts. Striking out 20 and walking 9. 2 hits and 31 innings pitched. First pitch fouled down the left field line and out of play. 0-1 now to Vizcaíno. Out here in Anchorage, Alaska, a nice city here and against the shores. Here's the 0-1. Fastball at the knees. Been able to see a little bit more of it thanks to my parents coming out to visit. I would like to thank my father and stepmother, Scott and Nicole, for coming all the way over from Tennessee, to come out there and visit me. Swing and a miss and a fastball. 1-2 the count. It's been nice to spend a couple of days here in Anchorage here and get to see this coming from Ohio. It's a lot to the city that you may not get to see in Ohio, so it's been beautiful out here in Alaska in general. 1-2 is lined into right field. A nice catch, or nearly right in the right field, but thanks to Holt Davis, he robs a base hit away from Vizcaíno.
This is another one of those games for Vance Vizcaíno where he has clobbered the ball, just unfortunately right at someone. Has had a couple of those shots to left field, but right at Baronic or Wilkes out there. They've been both the left fielders for the Chinooks today.
Fastball missing away. 1-0 now to Hunter Simmons. Simmons with a base hit earlier in the game, which would continue a stretch of 9 for his last 11. Has been retired every time since, though. Officially 1 for 3 in the day as he calls time now. This home plate umpire James Ainsworth, actually. 1-0 the count from Hamelink as he delivers. Curveball down low in the dirt, and 2-0 make that the count. First baseman Hunter Simmons. Home run number 1 in his last game against the Oilers the other night. 2-0 now from Hamelink. He winds and delivers. Curveball gets the outside edge, and now a 2-1 count. 2 men out here in the inning. Jake Schleppenbach standing on deck. Outfield as a center fielder and Baronic moving slightly toward the left center field gap here. Infield straight away as a curveball gets the outer edge here to Hunter Simmons. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-1, the Miners lead it, attempting to play add-on here in the 7th inning, and this is a 7-inning game. So Chinooks will be down to their final at-bat after this. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down swinging goes Hunter Simmons, and that will end things here in the inning on a 1-2-3 inning turn combined by Shane Armstrong for the first out, and then back-to-back outs by Hamelink. We move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Last roundup time for the Chinooks, down 2-1 here in Anchorage. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. On to the bottom of the 7th inning here in Anchorage. Miners holding a 2-1 lead here, and Caleb McCann trying to get a save here to keep the game right where it's at. If he's able to get it done, it'd be a 2 1/3 inning save in this instance. allowing all 4 batters he's retired them all. Curveball in there for a called strike. Now to Ferruto. 0-1 the count. Ferruto trying to get a start the inning off with a base hit. Swinging and missing a fastball. Now 0-2 behind. Officially 0 for 2 in the day. Has scored a run thanks to a walk he was issued. That was back in the 5th inning. It's the only run the Chinooks have scored so far. The 0-2 is a curveball that misses way inside. 1-2 the count. Plunkett able to gather that one and fire back to the mound. The righty Ferruto awaits the 1-2. Here it is. Curveball chop fouled on the third base line again. 1-2 the count now. Again, trying to retire every batter he's faced as he's done so far and try to get a 1-2-3 inning here in the 7th inning to win this one 2-1 for the Miners and get win number 26. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, says base umpire, Jim Leiser. Strikeout called by now for Caleb McCann here. Out number 1 here in the 7th inning, and that's what will bring up Cameron Baranek here.
Yeah, good strikeout there for Caleb McCann. Came out throwing the ball really hard. Had a good fastball, and that time got him to chase that high fastball for strike number 3.
First pitch of fastball misses low to Baranek. 1-0 the count from Caleb McCann. Righty facing Baranek here. Curveball gets the edge this time. 1-1 the count. Baranek up for the second official time here. He's walked twice today, officially 0 for 1. Here's a 1-1 fastball in there for a called strike on the outside edge. It's 1-2 now to Baranek. McCann trying to make quick work of the Chinooks here in the 7th inning and end this ball game. Here's the 1-2. Slap fouled on the left field line. No play out there is Vizcaino and Jed Fag find 2.
Cameron showing his power a little bit there. That was off the end of the bat. Was able to fly that one pretty decently foul down that left field line.
Fastball missing away. 2 balls and 2 strikes for McCann. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Miners. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for the Chinooks. Here's a pitch. Line drive back up through the box and into center field for a base hit. Picking it up in center field is Chris Hall. Now back to first base with a single here. The first hit of the day for Baranek. And now with 1 out, it brings up Boxwell. On first base will be Baranek, who is also the tying run should he score. The possible winning run here at the plate now on Boxwell.
Baranek reaching for the 3rd time today. Kyle walking twice.
Baranek goes for the pitch even thrown. The fastball taken down low for a ball. 1-0. And on his second base goes Baranek with the stolen base. So now that potential tying run standing on second base. For Baranek, stolen base of the season. Just been thrown out 3 times this year. He's been very good at stealing bases this year, has he? Here's a 1-0. Curveball runs inside. Plunkett able to gather this one as it gets down the dirt, though. 2-0 now for McCann. Up until the base hit allowed by Baranek, McCann had retired every batter he's faced. But now Baranek standing on second base. A 2-0 count here with 1 man out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And a 2-1 score. The Miners on top. Here's a pitch. Pop fouled on the third base line. 2-1 will be the count now on Boxwell. Boxwell does have pop. Hit one off the top of the wall in Palmer just a few weeks ago. Ball would come back on the field for a double, though, but just inches from getting out of the park. McCann ready with the 2-1. Looks back to runners. Fastball upstairs. 3-1 now the count. Boxwell digs back in. Outfield and infield straight away. 1 man gone here in the 7th. Here's a pitch. Pop foul down the left field line. No room at third base for Jed. 3-2 will be the count here. The payoff pitch coming. There's Baranek on second base. We'll see if he tries to execute a hit and run here with Boxwell at the plate here. McCann comes ready with the 3-2. Here it comes. Fastball taken down low. On to first base goes Boxwell. So now with the walk issue, the potential tying run at second, the potential winning run at first, and Boxwell. That'll bring up Holt Davis. That'll bring up also Matt Greeley to try to calm him down in the situation now that 2-1 ball game. You got to really buckle down and keep this game right where it's at. A base hit could potentially tie the game with the runner on second base. A ball hitting the gap could potentially win the game for the Chinooks. So with Holt Davis up, he's got to really buckle down and throw some strikes here. And that's exactly what Greeley is probably telling him right now. But at the plate, Davis officially 0 for 1 today, has walked twice, also struck out once. That one strikeout was a big one, though, and with the bases loaded back in the bottom of the third inning. Was swung out, swinging, excuse me. Short lead at first for Boxwell. Short lead at second for Baronic. Here's a pitch. Chop to the shortstop Wolf. He'll turn to second one. On to first and out at first base is Holt Davis. That'll end the ball game. Caleb McCann gets a 6-4-3 double play to end it. Holt Davis grounds into it to end the game here. And the Miners take the first game of this doubleheader 7-1 over this, or 2-1, excuse me, over the Chinooks. A nail biter here at the end. They have the potential tying run at second, the potential winning run at first, but Caleb McCann getting a double play here to win another one. Miners now win another one and are 26-7 overall. This one won't count in the standings, though, as far as the ABL goes, but the Miners still get a moral victory here in 2-1 in front of the Scouts today, Kevin.
Yeah, it was a good effort. It was a tough game. The Chinooks played well, too. It really was a game in which a lot of teams, both teams were able to get opportunities, but really not quite able to cash in on those opportunities. Give some credit to the pitching staffs of both squads getting out of the jams that they faced, because it was a really ball game today, but pitchers answered the call. Sebastian Valenzuela, especially for the Miners, Byron Hood, and Caleb McCann able to get out of their jams either or were able to get strikeouts when they needed to. So all in all, good effort for the Miners. There were some good things to look back at if you're the Miners for the Scouts, and they're going to have another 5-inning game here coming up in just about 30 minutes or so to try and showcase more of their skills, this time against the AL division leader, the Anchorage Bucks.
And we're going to go and wrap up here in our post-game show, only because we have a game in just a half hour with the Anchorage Bucks. Be sure to keep an eye out on Twitter or Facebook and see if you can get that link for us. We'll have another link up for you in just a moment on YouTube, and we'll have the broadcast game number 2 for you in just a few moments. That's between the Miners and the Anchorage Bucks right here in Anchorage. For now, it's game 1. The Miners take it in a final of 2-1, and a close game at the end. Caleb McCann coming in to get the save and win it here for the Miners. The win goes to Byron Hood. He gets his first one of the season. And now the Miners, with the loss hung to Icy, his first loss of the season as well. Save going to Caleb McCann, his first save of the year. When we come back in just a few minutes on another link, we'll have the Matsu Miners taking on the Anchorage Bucks. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball and the Matsu Miners Radio Network.